Hello, 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 and welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Lavella, and we are continuing our series from the Phantom SMP. We are in the Nether Hub. I believe I have shown this before. It's absolutely beautiful. Pretty sure Phantom told me that he and John are the ones who designed it. He actually sent me a message on Discord because I mentioned this before in a previous video. And I think I mentioned Volker or Tom or something, and he actually gave me the correct names, and now I have forgotten. So, so, so I still don't know what I'm talking about. But anyway, we're going to go into the Overworld hub, and this is not going to be a world tour kind of thing, but it's going to be a little mini tour explanation kind of thing. So when you come into the world, we've already been in. I've already shown you off that direction. That's where the little house I built with a story about, Tom's parents and, you know, uh, Elizabeth and Bertrand, they came here to be with Tom, and the mom works in the bakery and all that stuff. I explained that already. So that's where that is. It's off over there. This is where you spawn in, and this way leads to the town hall. And in his recent streams on Twitch, Phantomlimb520, he's been working on these formal gardens that lead up to the town hall, and they are still a work in progress. He still has a lot that he wants to do, but what he has done so far is, as you can see, it's absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. It's just beautiful. And I've seen him. I'm gonna pretend I don't see this. I'm not in the mood to worry about taking them out right now. I've watched him do this on stream, but when you come on this server and actually see it in person, it's just so much more of an impact, I guess. It's so much better. Anyway, this is our overworld hub right here. And when I first came on the server, over in the community village over there was a whole thing of chests that had community build supplies in it. And they were pretty organized. But then in here, and I'm sure if you've seen his videos from his Twitch channel, this area was just piles and piles of chests and shulker boxes, and there was a whole mess of them over here blocking the window. And he had them here because he was using this area just kind of as a chest monster area so that he could work on the nether tunnels, and it would be an easy grab. Well, it drove me crazy. I couldn't take it anymore. So I talked to him about it, and I was like, hey, can I do something with this? Can we find a spot to put all this stuff? I'll organize it. I'll set up a storage system. Just, can we please get this out of here? Because it started out, it wasn't too bad. But as most chest monsters, it just grew out of proportion. And I told him, I said, in my mind, I could see the building walls just bulging, like on a cartoon, where it was just bulging and it was about to just explode with all these chests and stuff. And it was just a mess. So he said, yes, yes, yes. And he had built, I believe, he had just finished building this when I came onto the server. Because I'm pretty sure I saw him working on this in stream when I first found him. And this is a great hall. It's supposed to be like from Harry Potter, the big dining hall. So anyway, he hadn't done the interior yet, and he said, you could put it in here for now, temporary. I said, okay. So I came in here, and I set this up, and it's by category. Like, these are mob drops, and then, some of this stuff is miscellaneous, but then you get into the nether stuff, nether blocks, and That's still another blocks. Then you get into like regular blocks and dirt and glass. Then here's grass blocks, and then you have all the ice, and then you got leaves, you got foliage basically, ores, potions. Then you get into like the sea lanterns and stuff. Then you've got the stone, cobble, well, andesite, cobble, and then you go diorite, granite, gravel, stone, sandstone, red sandstone, then some more miscellaneous stuff, and then you get into the wood. You have the acacia logs, and then acacia crafted, birch logs, birch crafted, and then of course, and it's in alphabetical order: acacia, birch, dark oak, jungle, oak, spruce, and so basically, and then at the end you have just random crafted stuff that is from the wood variant of oak, or looks like it is, and then we have these extra chests in case we have expansion. And when we did this, I was really kind of wanting to set up a permanent storage area, but my options at that time, because of where the projects were and the priorities and stuff, it was either leave it as it was or put it somewhere temporary and move it later. And I was like, okay, I'd rather have to move it 50 times than to leave it where it is. So yeah, I'll take that option. So that's what I did. And so now we are ready to move it. And I talked to Phantom last night, and basically what's going to happen is I'm going to drop these right through the floor. Come down here. And I have dug this out. And we don't really need it to be the full length of the building above ground. And the concept is, this is just going to be the basement. It's just going to be, the underground of the hall. So, and it's only for storage. It's not meant to be part of any kind of lore or decoration or whatever. But, we want to make it look nice, decent. So anyway, in Bedrock, apparently, light still passes through slabs. That used to be a thing in Java, and it got changed, and it's no longer a thing in Java, to my knowledge. I could be wrong, but I don't believe it is. Fortunately, it is still a thing in Bedrock. So, when I took these blocks out, there's a, I meant to put that on top of the crafting table. We're going to be needing it. Well, I've blocked it. Okay, you can see some of the torches back there. But the ground under, because these slabs, this is the floor inside the hall. Oh, I forgot to go get... We may have to smelt some stone real quick. I don't want to run all the way back. We'll check in the storage room first, see. Anyway, they have torches. And of course, all this, was solid. I just dug this out. I just finished digging this out. So they have the torches, which that's providing the light in the hall, so there's no mob spawns. So by taking all this out, I was removing the light that was, lighting this up. So I went and got some shroom lights. I have several stacks at home, and used those to still provide the light source through the floor above our storage area. And we will be using slabs for the ceiling, so it will also provide some light from that way as well. So the cobble that you see here, these are basically cheater blocks for when I put the walls in and stuff. There's no point in putting walls using good blocks that's not going to be seen. So I use cobble or dirt or granite or whatever I consider a trash block to fill that in and save my good stuff or other things. And like in these corners, that's not going to be visible because you're going to have wall blocks here and you're going to have wall blocks here. This will be hidden. So why waste the good stuff, right? So anyway, those are cheater blocks. Usually I will put cheater blocks along the floor here because I'm probably going to have, you know, a wall and then have stairs up against the wall. So this row here is going to be hidden because between the stair and the wall, you're not going to see it. But this is not our floor. Before I dig this down to where we're going, I want to work on the ceiling and the walls so that I'm not having to scaffold up all the time to do the ceiling. Anyway, I really meant to run home and get some of this. Let's see if we have any upstairs. And this storage is not meant for everyone on the server. The only reason I have access to it, let's go ahead and sleep real quick. The only reason I have access to it is because I have permission from Phantom for this. And I make a lot of donations for the community supplies, and I'm the one who organized it, so I put stuff up. But the purpose of these supplies is not for the community. It's for what you would call server builds that Phantom is completely in charge of. So it's not something like anybody on the server can come help themselves. That's not what this is for. This is not for that. Stone 6. That's helpful. That'll go a long way. Great. And we don't have that much stone either. Well, that's lovely. Oh, I mentioned the pups. Yeah, most of these are mine. I think Ask named one. Yeah, Esky, that's hers, I think. Pretty sure the rest of them. This Debbie is a joke because there was a conversation with Devious and we were teasing him about something. And he's like, we could call him Debbie on the weekends. So that's why that one's named Debbie. Anyway, we have the puppies. So if you're on a stream and you want to name a mob and you don't want to name a cat or a tropical fish, we have pups. Alright, let's go ahead and smelt some stone. I wonder how much I'm gonna need. And that's gonna take a minute. So while we're waiting on that, we can get started with these 6 blocks, 6 slabs, and we're out. But we're gonna go ahead and use that for the ceiling because it still has a stone look. It's a stone variant, but it also is brighter. So between the texture itself looking brighter and the lights coming through it, I think it'll be nice. I apologize if I'm sounding kind of weird. I bit the inside of my cheek, so my mouth is like acting goofy. What we're gonna do for starters is we're just gonna fill this in with brick. I brought some stuff from home. Let's see, we have room. Put this up. Okay, I didn't bring that much. I didn't bring a whole lot of brick. We'll use what I have, and we can make some of this stuff I brought from home just to donate for the build, and then some of this is stuff I just dug out. So it just came out of here, so we'll be using that as well. But basically, this is going to be a very simple design. I'm not trying to win any awards for super complicated, or it's a storage room. It's an underground storage room stuffed in a basement, and that's what we're going with. However, I have told you that in general, when I do my variety in my builds, my variety primarily is based on layers. However, in a build like this, it's going to be based on variety to an extent. But we're going to get the brick in first. And once we get all the brick in, then we'll go look at the other, because the brick is going to be the primary material. Then we will I don't think we're going to get any more out of it by doing it this way, but let's give it a shot. Yeah, it's the same. Okay. Alright. Okay. The brick is going to be the primary block. So we're going to start with that. We're just going to fill everything in with the brick. And then we'll come back and I brought basalt and the deep cobble and deep slate and some blackstone. I brought some bricks or some blocks from home to play with as a variant. Probably use some mossy. Kind of wanted to do this like it was a sewer system or in the sewers, but I'm not really sure that's going to make sense. So the moss, basements get damp even if it's not part of a sewer, so we probably will use a little bit of the moss mixed in. Back in the old days, you could not craft mossy cobble or stone. You had to find it as part of a structure in the world, and it was quite valuable. It was a catch-22 when they decided to make it craftable, because builders, I'm sure, all over the Minecraft community were cheering with glee that it was finally a craftable item, which means that it was not so hard to come by. But at the same time, it kind of devalued the block. So it kind of, part of its charm was the fact that it was not a common thing. So, you know, careful what you ask for. Sometimes you get it, and it's not what you expected it to be.
Got a surprise for you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks for letting me bum all those cigarettes.
You're welcome. Okay, let's get this wall here. Okay, that was so sweet. Did I place that wrong? I thought it misplaced and went somewhere else. My son's roommate just made a McDonald's run and he brought me a Coke and a biscuit. It was super sweet of him. The dogs are going to eat well today. I made chicken fettuccine Alfredo the other day, and there's still quite a bit of it left. Of course, I made a lot. I mean, there's 3 adults in the house right now, and I feed they say don't feed dogs people food. It's not good for them. Their digestive system, blah blah blah. They're animals, and they'll eat out of a dumpster if they have to. So I'm thinking they'll be okay with the chicken fettuccine. I'm not real worried about it. My whole life I've had dogs. No, I'm not a vet, and no, I cannot give you medical advice for your animals. But my whole life I've had dogs, and I have always fed them table scraps and people food. with certain exceptions. I don't do the chocolate things, it makes them sick. There are certain things that just, you know, and I think grapes can be fatal or something like that. But we've always fed our dogs dog food and then leftovers or treats or whatever. I've never killed a dog that way. Well, I've never killed a dog anyway, I'm just saying. But anyway, I made omelets and pancakes yesterday. I think there's like a pancake and a half left over and a little bit of eggs. And then got the chicken fettuccine in there. So today the refrigerator's getting cleaned up. And the dogs are gonna love me. They're gonna love me lots. Okay. Well, that's better than what I thought it was gonna be. This will get us started. I don't think it's enough to do the whole room yet, but it is a start. I'm so glad Phantom's back. He was on vacation for a week. And it's like, ugh. Just nothing is right. You know, there's just certain people that when they're not around, you feel it, you know? You just feel it. It's like, no, they're supposed to be here. They have to be here. Some people are the glue to the community. They hold everything together. And Phantom is obviously one of those people. I'm having a hard time. Oh, I wonder if... No, because it jumps. See, I try not to do this slow, but then it jumps on me and I just have to go back and redo it. So, yeah, see, it's still jumping. Okay, we're gonna have to do it slow. Sorry. TD's block placing with Lavella. Oh my gosh, Max made me so mad earlier. I was so struggling. He's the husky. He's such a beautiful dog. Such a beautiful dog. And so smart. Oh my god. My son and his roommate have like dogs from like the smartest breeds ever. German Shepherds, highly intelligent. Huskies, highly intelligent. And the funny thing is, like Arya, she's a German Shepherd. She is super smart, yes, but she has a dog's personality. Okay? Super happy to see when you get home and bouncing around. She gets in trouble every day because she is too excited to see my son when he comes home, and she just jumps on him. And she gets in trouble every day, but she still jumps on him. She's like, it's worth it. Totally worth it. I'm gonna jump on him anyway because I'm just too happy. I can't contain myself. And she's, you know, very lovable and playful, and she weighs about a ton. And I'm a pretty heavy girl, pretty heavy woman, and she could topple me over if she caught me off my guard, because she could put her paws on my shoulders and she would be taller than I am. So she's a pretty big girl, and she's strong, and she'll she'll come up to me. I'll be sitting here at my desk, and she'll just sit there and look up at me, and I know, you know how they talk to you with their eyes. I'm like, what do you want, babe girl? And next thing I know, she leaps up. Well, she doesn't have to leap, but she comes up on her hind feet, and she puts her hands, her front paws on my shoulders, and I just know what I can say, so I'm just gonna go over backwards in this chair. But she's just, you know, she's just so lovable, and pretty sure she wants to be a lab dog. But she's a little bit big to be a lap dog. Maybe for a giant, but not for a short, fat woman that's only 5'2". That's just, yeah, not gonna work. But then Max, he's the one, and the other thing about her is she is a herder, apparently. Because when it's time to go outside, if Max is in a prissy mood and he doesn't necessarily want to go outside, she runs straight out the door. If that door gets opened and she's told to go outside, out she goes. She doesn't hesitate. She doesn't argue about it. She just does what she's asked to do. Max, on the other hand, has to be in the mood. And if he's not, he'll just stand there and look at you. And if you talk to him and ask him if he wants to go outside, he will actually turn his head away from you and sit there like, I'm not listening to this nonsense. And she will come running back in the house and run circles around him and run back out like she's trying to herd him to get him to come outside with her. But Max, his intelligence shows in another way, in a more human way. He is a talker. I don't know if you have any experience with huskies, but oh my gosh. And I'm not one of these people. I don't believe in dog whisperers, and I don't believe in, animal psychiatry and all that kind of stuff. But, maybe there's something to it. I don't know. But it's not something I put a lot of faith in. But I do believe that animals are intelligent, and I do believe if you know a dog or cat or whatever well enough that you can read body language to an extent, even if it is from an animal. But anyway, Max talks to me all the time. And I feel like I'm going to be carted off to the funny farm half the time when I say that, because it's like, oh, she's hearing voices again. It's not that. But he will come and he'll sit here like 6 inches from me, and he'll sit there and just stare at me, waiting, and I'll turn and I'll look at him, and I'll say, what you need, Max? And he'll just, and just talk. He'll just talk. And I'll say, you need to go outside? And he'll just, so I'll get up to let him out. He may or may not be wanting to go out. It's, depends on his mood, how prissy he's feeling at the moment. He's a bit of a pretty boy. And, but yeah, he talks to me all the time. He yelled at me the other day in the kitchen. I went into the kitchen, through the kitchen to the little alcove where they have the washer and dryer before you go through the door to go into the garage. Anyway, monkey is on. I was in the kitchen, or I went through the kitchen, and I give the dogs treats all the time. So he came in there and stayed in there long enough to realize that I wasn't getting into the food. I was doing laundry. And he just chewed me out. Just to the point that Cole, the roommate, was like, what's his problem? He's yelling at me because I'm not giving him food. He says, Max sure talks to you a lot, doesn't he? I was like, yeah, he does. It's not my imagination. I'm not just hearing voices. I'm telling you, this dog dogs all the time. But anyway, the whole point of this story was to tell you how it made me mad. So, Max was in here with me, and he got up and he's just looking at me. He wasn't talking to me. He was just looking at me. And I asked him if he needed to go outside. And he casually strolls to the door like, okay, maybe, not really got a lot on my agenda at the moment. I'll consider going outside. So he walks over there, and it's been raining. It's been raining off and on for about 2 days now. And I'm standing there with the sliding door open, and we have a blanket on the floor because when they come in, you know, their feet are all muddy and stuff. So there's a blanket on the floor right there to try to get the most of their feet wiped off before they come in. And that little wart, he stood right there in the door with his front half sticking outside. The important bits were still inside when he decided to go pee-pee. I was just like, are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me right now? Oh my God. I went to strangle him. I was so aggravated. So aggravated. But anyway, we are way over time. I am going to finish the ceiling and run home and get some more slabs, of course, because obviously this is not going to finish it. And when we come back, we will continue working on the design for this little room, and we'll try to figure out something. It'll be simple, but you know, something that's nice to look at. You don't want to just have a crappy. And see this tunnel, these rails, these go like to the shopping district and stuff. There's different routes that you can take, and the walls are just all raw. They're not even just plain brick. They're just all raw. If I would have at least gone through and replaced it with all stone, you know, something to clean it up a little bit, but they just kind of dug it out and haven't bothered to mess with it. But I didn't really plan for it to be this way, but I kind of have turned into a tunnel girl. I don't know why, but I find myself decorating all these underground tunnels and rooms and stuff all the time, and I enjoy it. I didn't know it was my thing, but it seems to be. So maybe I'll do something with that, or maybe I'll wait and volunteer for that project when we have season 2. But anyway, I do want to say thank you very much for taking the time to watch my video. I truly appreciate it. It really does mean a lot to me that you've shared your time with me, and so that's why I thank you. And we will see you later.